All right, good morning, everyone. This is Opening New and Exciting Doors Through Integrations. My name is Justin Skaggs. I'm the IT Delivery Lead for Worthington Industries.
And I'm Ben Neal. I'm currently the Value Stream Manager for our Columbus cylinders plant, responsible for refrigerant products. But over the last year, I've been partnering with Justin and our team to complete the Smart Factory project here at Worthington, which includes the launch of Leading to Lean. Just a little background on Worthington. We were founded in 1955 and headquartered over here in Columbus, Ohio. And we've got roughly 9,000 employees and located across the world. We've got plants across the world, but primarily in the United States, and then we service about 90 different countries through our customer base. Today we'll focus mainly on our cylinders business unit, but we also have two other business units that are quite large. We have a whole steel processing business unit to add value to steel that supplies a lot of the automotive and construction industries. Then we've also got a joint venture that's very significant that provides a lot of construction materials as well. The primary products we're going to be talking about here are a lot of the Coleman gas grill cylinders, propane tanks that go in your barbecue, as well as product tanks that go into your refrigeration and other applications like that. So first plant we launched, Leading to Lean, their primary units produced are these beautiful gas grill tanks right here. We call them 20-pounders. Within our Worthington strategy, we've got kind of three different strategic arms that we use that include innovation, transformation, or like kind of our lean journey, and then acquisitions, all rooted in our philosophy, which is really central around the golden rule. But then you can see on the outside, we've got these business drivers that include information technology, automation, advanced technology, and analytics. And what we're really excited about with this project is the partner of all four of those coming together. You'll see the team makeup as Justin goes through some slides here. Just really cool how the whole partnership came across those different functionalities to drive a very agile project.
Yeah, like Ben mentioned, we started this Smart Factory journey knowing that we wanted to get to a more Industry 4.0 footprint in our cylinders division. We started with this kind of this model, whereas the spectrum moves to the right, you get more value, but also more complex, more data integration needed. And we knew we wanted to get there. We didn't know how at the time. So we started with this Industry 4.0 model called ISO 95. And we figured out across this model, who would we need from across the company to be able to support the Smart Factory project? And we started to layer in people from various groups. The OT folks kind of focus on the bottom half of the spectrum here, and then layering in the functional areas with analytics and transformation, helping provide some oversight, and then production, quality, maintenance, along with various others like HR that were involved along the way. And then on my side, on the IT side, typically IT is more back office and distribution, finance, things like that with ERP systems. So across these groups, we thought we could get a pretty good cross-sectional approach to the project and attack it from different angles, having the right people to make these decisions. So we took that group of people once we were assembled and looked at Worthington's landscape. Where were we missing? Where do we have gaps? And it became quickly apparent. We mapped our systems. On the right, we have Oracle BI and some Tableau on top, and J. Edwards is our ERP for our cylinders division. And then on the bottom, the plant layer, we have various PLCs, controllers across our business units, and really nothing in the middle. So if we want to get to an Industry 4.0 model, the whole goal is connecting new systems, and in this case, we really had nothing to connect. We had no plant-centric systems. We had CMS that was out here on an island, not connected to anything else, which presented a lot of problems. We had a lot of data silos where we couldn't get the right reporting, we couldn't get the right data in front of the decision makers to make the best decisions for the company, and we knew we needed to make some changes. We went through a lot of research, Gartner calls, And finally ended up at AutoLead doing a tour and seeing L2L ourselves. Became pretty apparent that that would be a good L3 system for us. Get rid of that CMS on an island and integrate that with our other business systems. And we also needed a level 2 system that was more scalable as well, so we wanted ignition on that front. And I'll speak about that shortly. So our timeline is we launched this in January of 2019. By June of that same year, we had rolled out our first plant in Westerville. And then about every 3 months since then, we've been doing one more plant, and that's our goal to continue that as soon as COVID-19 lets us. So speaking of integrations, we really wanted to start with an Agile approach. We wanted to start focusing on what are the biggest value drivers for our business? Where do we need the most data? Now that we've got L2L, we've got some of the other systems in place, where does integration provide the most value? So working with Ben and others in the business, we were able to come up with a list of here are the biggest pain points where if we had some better integration, we could solve a lot of problems. And we'll speak about a couple of those during this presentation. We want to start small and fail fast so we can get really quick feedback and make more agile planning decisions. On the tool side, it was very important for us to have both on the ERP level and on the machine level, some middleware and SCADA system on the machine side in order to be able to grab data from these various systems and push and pull as needed. On the L2L side, the API documentation is great, and Krista and Kara, big shout out, being able to help us through some of our questions and as we stub our toes. Speaking of stubbing your toes, it's really also important to have a tool like Postman or SoapUI or something else where you can test its APIs without hurting much. So ERP integration. We had L2L. We knew we had some stockroom problems. We were constantly running out of our spare part inventory, not knowing where it was, and we knew L2L had a lot of capabilities there. From a what's in it for me standpoint, if you can tell a maintenance technician that, if you add this spare part to your machine bill of material as you fix it, then the stockroom gets a notification, it prints a label, and it helps them downstream as well. It helps get that alignment, it helps get that buy-in, and you're able to manage your inventory better and service your customer better. So we started there on the ERP side. One of the very first integrations we did was integrate JD Edwards with L2L. And I'll show you how that works. This is a kind of a high-level diagram of it. The inventory gets extracted from JD, loaded to the spares API in L2L, and then as parts get requested in L2L, it updates the ERP, and it becomes a self-healing cycle, if you will. As changes are made in the ERP, this goes right back to L2L. So for those of you techies out there who want to see how this works, you may be thinking in your business, we could use something like that. We've thought about spares integration before. Maybe you don't have your IT involved yet, maybe you do. This presentation is a window into how you can get that off the ground. And I actually have a lot of this code you can take and use on your own. So to articulate some of this, I have a little video here. This is Postman. So your IT folks may know how to use this, and you can get them involved. I cut out the top, but there's an API out there. It's on the deck as well. You can call it with some help from the L2L support team, and it will show you if you have any spares in your queue in L2L, which is what you're seeing here. I'll add a part to the queue. You noticed before that my API was blank. So as technicians added there, I'll do a manual request here, by the way. It'll hit the queue in L2L. And you'll see it comes in the API as well. So that's in real time. I now know there's a spare that's waiting to be issued out in my ERP. So with a little bit of middleware help, and there's a ton of middleware options out there for you. I don't know what your companies may use. In our case, we use Oracle Service Bus, as part of the Solo suite. But there are lots of options. All the middleware is looking for is if that API hits and it's status of 1, which is issue requested, let me pick that up and send it to JD. So in every 1 minute that integration will run, it'll look for those ones, and right now it's about to change to synchronize. There it goes, which means it actually went to JD Edwards, issued the part, came back to L2L and said, hey, I'm good, you can close that spare part request. So that's nice, but what about the JD side? Well, on JD side, we get a nice label printed out after our item ledger says we did the 1 issue. And here's our label. So I would have printed on the printer within 1 minute of being requested by the technician. So now the stockroom can keep the parts up to date, keep them labeled, and as they go out onto the floor, or say if you replace an air filter or something, you can actually stick that label to it and know when the last time it was replaced. And on the JD side, now that inventory is going to tell L2L, hey, I need an update. So on the ERP side, we've got a lot of other things in the pipeline. We are working on product orders, schedules, routings, lots of integration with the ERP coming, and it all uses the same model that I just showed you. When it comes to machine integration, integrating the level 1 and level 2 system up to L2L. Our default option is to keep it simple. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. Eric says it at every go live. But we start out with operators entering data into L2L manually, even if we can do the machine integration right off the bat. And that helps reinforce some good habits. The operators get to know the system better, and it helps us get live faster. But we don't stop there. That's not the end stage. Ideally, we want to integrate with machines. So how do we do that? Well, on the left here, you could have lots of other machine options. You could have Rockwell and Bosch, Siemens, whatever you have on the left. It's kind of wide open, and that's the way we designed this. So it doesn't really matter what's on the left as long as it can be on the network and speaking to Ignition. And Ignition does that kind of machine middleware work of one leg on the machine side and 1 leg in the cloud side talking to L2L via some Python scripting. There's a little snippets of the Python script here. It's not overly complex. And the best part about this is it's very easy once we get live to show it to someone on the OT side and have them manage it without any corporate bureaucracy or channels to go through to get things added. So this is actually a video of in real time. This is a brand new site coming up on L2L. We've got all the setup done on the L2L side, and we're just going to add in Ignition a PLC tag that will in real time update the actual counts in L2L. So the way we built this is we would just add the L2L line area and line in on the right. So that was the area. Or that was the site, I'm sorry. Here's the area. And the integration is just going to look for these in action against L2L. So then we would just need to name the 2 lines as S1 press, O1 S1 press, and O2 S1 press. And there's various other ways to do this machine integration with L2L. We had learned from AutoLead that they were using Ignition. We were already looking into it anyway, so it seemed like a natural fit. Ignition uses some Python scripting, which is very flexible and allows us to do a lot of things on both the OT and IT side. So it seemed like a really good fit for Worthington. So now that we've got our line in there and a map, we can add our tag. Big shout out to Ashley Henry for recording this for me. So Ashley's going to add the tag here, which is just a counter on the PLC. So we're going to add that in to the tag editor here. And this is something that the plant engineers have access to do, and we've had really good success with. There's just a few steps to do, and after that, you'll see once we start the tag, the accumulated value is 1 now. Actually, we'll start it, and that will start a timer as well. And every 60 seconds on the timer, it will update L2L with that tag value. So here's in the real L2L sandbox site where Ashley mapped that to. When that tag value for the clock hits 60, we will see an update hit the pitch actuals API for L2L. This same pitch actuals API will update the actual count, the product. You can even do scrap in there as well. So it's a very flexible API, and we plan on growing our integration and sending product and scrap and other things as well. But for now, we're starting with just the actual counts in our 3 sites. So we just hit 60 seconds, so we can now refresh L2L, and we will see those 7 parts from our tag are now in the pitch details API. So there you have it in 10 minutes. Now you know how to integrate both your ERP and your machines to L2L.
Nice. Thanks, Justin. Still significantly over my head, but I appreciate you having you guys on the team to take care of all that awesome stuff for us. So I'm going to talk about a few things that we've done with analytics. So taking data sources from L2L and plugging them in with other outside data sources to answer some of our business questions. So early on in our journey with L2L at Watsonville, I was helping the team get integrated and get used to using L2L, and we were thinking that we were pretty good at checking in on the shop floor. We felt like we were doing a nice job, but really didn't have the facts around if folks were here. Were they checking in, right? We thought they were, but maybe they were on vacation or something like that. We came up with the idea that maybe we should plug the L2L check-in data against the ADP time clock data. So we used ADP as our payroll system and said, hey, could we get the data out of that ADP data set out of that company and give us our data, and then also compare it to the area line machine that we checked into, that we checked into with our operators, and saw if, hey, I got paid for the day, I got 8 hours of time in today, did I get 8 hours of time checked into the line facility? So we did that using the data lake. We partnered with our guys in IT and kind of the data team that is the background of our analytics department, and then ultimately used Tableau as our visualization software. So those data sources are all getting put into what they call data lake, big data warehouse there for us, and then our analytics team put this visualization here together for us. So what you can see going across the top is just a trend line, whether we're hitting that 75% of our time goal. So we just say, hey, we're hoping to capture 75% with the breaks and lunch taken out. The max you're going to get is about 92% anyway, so it felt like 75% was a good goal, and the team there, well, I think we're looking at Maze, is doing a fantastic job in this time shot here. You can see they missed a couple days, but those are really the weekends. And then below you can see the total number of hours. So you start to look at how many direct labor hours does it take to run the shop, and how much of that data am I capturing in those. And then on the left, you can see all the users, and you can also see the folks there, and we can click on one, and we clicked on Karen here, and saw, hey, Karen over the last 2 weeks, how's she been doing? She's one of the folks that was kind of in red, not quite hitting the goal. So, hey, on the 21st thing, is hey, Karen, what were you working on that day? Maybe say, hey, I was actually driving a forklift, or I was doing this abnormal job or something like that. Say, okay, great. How do we get that captured elsewhere? We're able to solve a lot of those problems pretty quickly, where that could fly under the radar for quite some time. So they say, hey, recognize if you're doing great on several days. It looks like there's a role that you got plugged into 3 times here that was maybe missed. We've had a lot of good conversations about that. We also have this exact same view for our maintenance and technical resources as well. So Don't have a picture of it here, but it's a save time on the job, and then start to look at whether we are doing predictive, planned, or reactive activities. So we can start to see, hey, our projects, how good of utilization is that taken? Hey, how are we doing on on-time percentage, that kind of stuff. So really excited about the reporting that L2L baked into it, but taking it to the next level of with that AEP time clock data. Some of the fun stuff we're going to do is kind of look at a live value stream map of our facility. So these are kind of the major steps along the way of making a 20-pounder here, kind of pressing out the parts through testing it. And we're going to see whether the shop's running efficiently or not. And this data is really coming from the PLCs itself. This was something we kicked off before we had L2L, and it's really kind of taking it to the next level once we have the contextual data of what was going on with that machine within L2L. So we're getting to partner those two pieces of data together, which is pretty exciting stuff for a guy coming from transformation and lean. What are those short stops? How do I dig into OEE? This is really giving me that next level of information. So excited about the possibilities here. You can drill into one of these, and we kind of get the view on the next slide, where we get to see within a machine over the last 24 hours or a set of machines, am I hitting my desired run rate? So if I've got a cycle time of 10 seconds, am I running at that 10 seconds? And then when I'm not, okay, well, is my machine down? Did my operator walk away to do an abnormal condition? Am I actually have a flow issue? Am I waiting on parts that I'm not getting given parts, or I'm then not able to produce parts because the conveyor's full and I'm waiting on a downstream process? So a lot of exciting things here to really point you to the right spot within your value chain to solve some problems. Really came out of just a lot of really good conversations with the analytics team and the data lake team, the IT team, the operations team, and the transformation team, just sitting around the table trying to, hey, what's our number one problem and how are we going to solve it? This got us pointed in the right direction, which I'm really excited about. And like I said, we're taking all this stuff to the next level with that data, the operator fix data, the tech-in data, the contextual, I like to call contextual data around our operations team on the shop floor, take this information to the next level. We've got some next steps, kind of next ideas that we have on the horizon in data analytics I'm really excited about. I just got off the phone yesterday with our corporate EH&S team around our safety incident data, and we're noticing a trend where we've got incidents with our folks that are newer operators in their first year, kind of more at-risk time period. But they're curious, hey, maybe I'm a seasoned operator, but it's my first time training in a new area within the shop or a new job within the facility. Once we start tracking all of our training and who trained and when you got trained within L2L, I'm really excited about rolling that out here at Columbus. Once we get that data in there, then you can see, well, no, I've been at this shop for 5 years, but it's my first day running this new piece of machinery, and I got injured. Okay, well, that's really interesting. So maybe it's the first 90 days within being trained on a job that's your highest risk. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but we're excited to find out. So that's where we're going to take that one to the next level. We're doing some interesting stuff, trying it out with around quality at the Westfield facility, where we're saying, hey, we've had an issue or failure. What were some of the precursors that led up to that? What downtime did we see? Did we see any short stops? Did we see any operator fixes that could have led us to being able to prevent that quality failure instead of reacting to it at the back end? Something we're struggling with here at the Columbus facility is job rotation. So we think we're rotating our folks. We've got a playbook out there. We've got everything going. When we talk to our operators, they're like, no, I just get rotated between these couple jobs. I'm not getting into new things. I'm not getting to see different areas of the plant. So giving us that data as a reality check, to make sure that we're doing it. And then, hey, where does that tell us what folks do we need to focus on? Who is the least rotated in the shop? Do they want to be rotated? So excited about taking that to the next level. We're going to be doing, like I said, the training within L2L, but looking at that with the productivity of the shop. Is our newer operators X percentage, slower? Do they need to be trained? Do we need to give them a longer runway? What's the facts and data around our training, and is it effective? And then lastly, our technical resources. We're doing a lot of discussions around integration of machine monitoring type of technologies. We've got presses, we've got welding, we've got painting, we've got a lot of heavy machinery type things. How can we integrate that data plug that into L2L, get some automated dispatching. Once we realize we've got an adverse condition coming, get predictive, get preventative in there so we can actually react to those abnormal conditions before they actually negatively impact the shop. So really taking our maintenance and technical resources to the next level and utilize their time as planned and predictive activities instead of purely reactionary.
So thanks everyone for joining our talk, and I guess we are now happy to answer any questions you might have.